Hey YouTube, what is up? My name is Carrie DeYoung and welcome to my new series about living a healthy lifestyle. So this entire series is based around WW, formerly known as Weight Watchers. But before you click the little X because you have zero interest in Weight Watchers, I just want to say a lot of what I'm going to be teaching in this series can be useful even if you're not on the program. And trust me, it's worth a listen. I want to say that this is not sponsored. I am in no way sponsored by WW. And that I am not a doctor or a dietitian. I've never taken classes on it. Everything in this series is just what I have learned on my own. I'm going to do a disclaimer in the description box saying that I'm not a doctor or anything. I'll put it on the screen too. I'm not a doctor or a dietitian.
Let's just make that clear.
Get out a pen, get some paper, because it's going to be some info that you're going to want to remember. I also created a blog all about it. I just launched my blog website. I did it specifically for this series. I'll have a whole blog talking about every episode of the series so that you can refer back and use that as a great tool. But sometimes it's just easier when you make your own notes and jot down things that you would like to remember. Let's get into it. I'm very excited. If I'm looking down, it's because I did an outline for myself, so I did not miss anything. Put a lot of work into this, so I hope you guys appreciate it. If you haven't heard of WW, it is more of a lifestyle change. I don't want to call it a diet. The definition online that WW uses is WW is a simple calorie counting system that is a personal for you based on your age, weight, height, and sex. You simply track everything you eat and drink as well as work out if you choose to do so through the Easy app or website. Personally, I don't want to call this a diet because a diet generally means that you're restricting yourself from eating certain portions and from not eating certain things. Honestly, that doesn't sound appealing if I can't eat what I want to eat when I want to eat it. And WW, you eat what you want when you want, as long as it fits into your daily points. We will go over points in a little bit. There's so many different options that are tasty. I'm not eating salads. I'm not a big salad girl. Let's not get confused. This is not all about the number on the scale. I really want to make a point about that because this is more about learning how to be the best version of yourself and whatever that may mean to you. Like, the best version of myself is not going to be the same as someone else's best version of themselves. Who can do WW? This is the great part about this program is it doesn't matter if you are a size 16, a size 6, if you're 25, 75 years old, it doesn't matter. If you want to feel more confident, have more energy, be able to do more physical activity, or to be healthier, and of course to lose some weight, this program is perfect for you. Wow, I really should be sponsored by WW with how I'm laying this out there. There's so many different programs to lose weight out there. I want to explain why I chose WW and the different things that I've tried that keeps me coming back. I tried doing keto. That personally did not work for me. I don't know if I did it correctly, but I tried many different ways. I struggled with eating enough fat. It's definitely harder to do than you would think. I thought I would be great at it. My skin wasn't happy, and I really liked drinking alcohol, and I found that they just didn't really go together. Not eating as much, that doesn't make you feel better or lose weight. And then trying to just eat healthy in general didn't work for me because I would overeat and I didn't know how to determine what was good for me and what wasn't. Just because it said organic on it did not mean it was healthy for me. So doing it on my own and trying to figure out what was healthy wasn't working. And the best part about WW is that you can be social. You can go out to eat, you can travel and eat and find foods in airports and fast food places that can fit inside your points. I'm a flight attendant, for instance, and I can do WW on the go. If I can do it on the go, you can do it on the go. And I love what I'm eating. And because of that, I'm successful in the program and it's easy for me. And like I said, I'm not eating salads. Like, I'm going to post pictures on here of what I ate this week for dinner and tell me that your mouth isn't salivating. WW was rated #1 doctor recommended weight loss program and the #1 best diet. So because of all the things I listed, it's also backed by those two things. off, I want to make this very clear in this series. There will be no fat shaming, no skinny shaming. This is open to everyone. If your goal is to lose 5 pounds or 255 pounds, I'm here for you. But we are going to be positive because weight is a very sensitive subject for a lot of us, and I'm not messing around with it. Safe zone, safe space. A lot of my followers on here are like, yes, I just started WW Care, help me out, and that is what I'm here for. And if you guys are new to my channel and WW brought you here from this series, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe and like the videos. And if you're curious about me a little bit more, you can watch my past vlogs and all my flight attendant videos. I want to talk about my WW journey really quickly, just so you know that I have gone through it. So the first time that I went through WW was probably 5 years ago. I had just got done with my first flight attendant training and I fell in love with the system. I had never really gotten down. I got down to 120 pounds and I had never been that skinny since maybe 6th grade. I was born with a booty, I was born with curves, and I didn't know the right things to eat or the right portions. So when I started doing WW and I was losing the weight, I lost about 30 pounds the first time. And then I went back through another flight attendant training, and that's when I gained all my weight back. And I had a breakup, moved to a new city, yada, yada, yada. And I tried to do it off and on for about 2 years. And I just never could stick to it. I just kept cheating the system and I would get on it, but then I would start drinking and eating and I'd be like, well, it's so easy to do and I know how to do it, so I'll do it when I'm ready. Like, I can do it next week. And I just kept doing that for 2 years and I was not very happy with my weight. So this is now my second time fully doing it and I'm about 3 or 4 pounds away from my goal weight and I stuck with it. I learned how to be social and drink and go out to eat on it the correct way this time, and I'm like, wow, this system is amazing. This program, I have to share it with you guys. 5 people, including me, have done WW in my family. My cousin actually worked for them too. He's amazing. I actually verified some information with him, so thank you, Steven. So before you get started on the program, you definitely want to be in the right mindset for change. You want to be honest with yourself. You know yourself better than anyone. You do best at this if you jump in head first and just start, throw everything out in your fridge, or are you better at dipping your toes in the water and getting a feel for it and then adjusting to it? For me personally, I know I just need to go head first into the water or else I will make excuses like, next week I have to go to a wedding. Well, in the real world, you would have to go to a wedding. Probably won't have healthy food there, so I'll start the week after that. But then the week after that, you have something. And for me personally, I just have to start and go 100% in. But only you personally know when you can make that change. Only do this if you know that you're willing to do your best at succeeding in it, or else this will be for nothing. So you're gonna want to get a scale, and if hopefully you already have one at your house, but if you don't, I recommend personally just using one scale throughout this entire journey, because scales are different and you don't want it to go use someone else's scale and have it be a different number. Whether if it's more or less, you want to stick with the same scale so you know it's accurate. Even when I go to the doctor's office, I'm like, listen, I don't want to know the number, and I just look away. It keeps me on track and I know exactly where I'm at. So stick to one scale and one scale only. I think it's important to record where you're starting. I wish I would have done more of that, whether if it's taking progress pictures. I know it can be hard taking them depending on where you're starting, but you will end up appreciating them in the end. It's easier to see how far you've come if you see where you began. And also just take measurements if you don't want to take pictures, and write down your different measurements every week. Definitely, you gotta use a scale though. And then jeans, nothing shows more than how your clothes fit and feel. That's a big one. Then you're going to want to sign up. You're going to fill out a little survey, and during sign up you'll be asked a series of questions to figure out what plan is best for you. So be honest when you're answering those questions. You can just sign up for the app where you scan things, which we'll talk about in a little bit, or you can have personal help. So pick what you think you'll be most successful with, read them over, and then lastly, what you can afford. Everyone's financial situation is different, but remember, do not use this as an excuse. If you are going to Starbucks 3 times a week,
You can cut out your Starbucks.
find a way to cut costs if you can. If you can, like I said, I don't know your financial situation. Maybe cut down on a manicure. Listen, whatever you can do to make yourself be successful, do it. Let's get to talking about points and eating. When my camera died, I was literally snacking, okay? So when you signed up, you were assigned a number of points you're allowed a day based on your height, weight, and activity level. I already said that. You want to keep your food intake within these points. This is the learning part, so make sure you're on the app and make sure that you scan the food before you eat it, because what you're eating, you may think that it's not a lot of points, and then it's 15 points, and you're like, I only had 30 for the day. So then they have the smart point system. And the smart point system assigns every single food and drink out there a point value. One simple, easy to use number based on the calories, saturated fat, sugar, and protein within the food. Foods that are higher in sugar and or saturated fat are higher in smart points. So for instance, a bag of Doritos is going to be way more points than a rice cake. There you go. So foods that are higher in sugar or saturated fat are higher in smart points value, and then foods that are higher in lean protein are lower in smart points value. Then the great part about this is there are 0-point foods. Now 0-point foods, as you guessed it, have 0 points on your daily value. So no matter what color plan you are on, and we'll get to that in just a moment, you have a list of 0-point foods, so they won't go into your daily number that you are given. And I will list it down below, the link to see it. You can also just Google it. It's on the WW website. You do not have to track these points, but in the beginning, in my opinion, just add them in, just so you get used to tracking and you can actually see what you're eating throughout the day, because 0 points does not mean 0 calories. So, but there are some things that sometimes I was like, oh, I thought that was 0 points, and it wasn't. So I think it's always good to track, and then it's a great tool for you to look back on to be like, what did I eat to help me lose weight? What worked for me? What didn't work for me that week? And it just helps you get into tracking every day. So I suggest you do it and do as I say. I'm just kidding, but do it. When choosing a plan, there's green, blue, and purple. So when choosing what plan you want to do, take a look at the list of 0-point foods that are on each plan. Like I said, I'll leave a link listed below so you can check that out. When I did Weight Watchers, the past 2 times, I've always been on blue. And if my cousin told me this, one who worked at Weight Watchers, he said, if you can't personally see yourself eating a good amount of the 0-point foods on that list, do not pick that plan. And that's so true. When doing this system, are probably going to eat a lot of the 0-point foods that are on your plan, because that's how you stay within your points every day. And then if after a few weeks you find that you don't necessarily like the foods that are on that 0-point plan, you can always switch the color plan that you're on if you think that you will like that one more and if you'll be more successful on it. I'm going to stop here for this video because I know that it's a lot of information. I don't want to overwhelm anyone and feel like this is too much that you it's just gonna be too difficult to do, because I promise you it's not. If I can do it, you can do it. The next video after this will be grocery shopping and then a tips video. I have a whole bunch of things listed for you guys. I'm gonna show you what I like to eat, my favorite snacks, my favorite breakfast, how I do my coffee, when I do go out to restaurants, when I eat fast food, because I haven't stopped any of that, guys. What you could do for workouts, I personally don't work out. Like, all your girl's doing is wearing some ankle weights around the house, okay? Like, I'm not working out. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I can include them in the next video and include a Q&A into one of the episodes. If you have any other ideas for me, please let me know. This would be great to do with a friend, a mom, your significant other, you know, but also if you have no one to do it with, that's okay too. I did it by myself, and I will be your other person. And don't feel like you need to tell anyone that you're doing it. Like, if you hang out in a social setting, or if you don't, COVID, I know, don't come at me. That some people will be like, oh, you're fine, like, you don't need to do that. You don't need to tell other people if you feel like they may not be supportive. Screw them. You can do this on your own. You can do it with me, and I got your back. I think that is all. I know it's a lot of talking. Like I said in the beginning, I will have a blog with all of these things written out for you. So in case you didn't take notes or in case you don't want to hear me ramble all over again. But I hope this information was useful, and I would love your feedback in the comments below. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next episode, and let's dive right in. All right, see you guys in my next one. Bye.